Top of the morning, everyone. It is February the 8th. Touchstones reading from a child of God and a recovering alcoholic addict with the morning coffee with a splash of honey. Happy Fun Day Sunday. Hey, let's have a moment of silence for those still out there in pain and suffering, please. Thank you. If the best man's faults were written on his forehead, it would make him pull his hat over his eyes. That's from Gaelic. It's a Gaelic proverb. I probably mispronounced that one too. When we deal with our faults and imperfections, we are dealing with the basic issues of being a person. We can become bitter and cynical about the imperfections of others, or we can realize every person is incomplete but growing, just as we are. The way we look at the faults in others and the way we look at our own are closely tied together. In our spiritual journey, we must begin with the premise that no person ever achieves perfection. Perfection apparently is not what this life is about at all, since perfection is non existent. We are lovable, and we can love in the process of living our lives. Since we are not perfect, we have to be accountable. We must have standards for our behavior and hold ourselves to those standards, admitting our mistakes and making repairs where we can. I will try to acknowledge my mistakes and give up the idea of ever being perfect. Amen. It's so true. I know when I was out there drinking and drugging, I used to point out imperfections all the time in myself and in others, and it's not right. It's a big character defect, and I struggle with it today, just because I just struggle with it. It's hard for me to get rid of that because I'm a little anal and still want stuff my way or done my way. So I try my best. I got to hold back and realize that other people are learning and they're growing, but I can't change them. That's the main thing. People, places, and things. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I say that prayer a lot every day. So, I don't become bitter anymore or cynical at the imperfection of others. I try to manage myself instead of managing other people, and the way I manage myself is how I feel about the current situation, whatever's happening, or just how I feel about how that instance is going, just how it's affecting me. I can't help what anybody else does. Not one bit. Can't control them, and all I can do is worry about me. Sweep up my side of the road, my side of the street. Just clean up my baggage. I'm not going to carry anybody else's baggage. I used to do it a lot, but I still do sometimes. It's another character defect. I have a lot of character defects, and I work on them every day. Trust me. But my bag carrying them rocks of other people, it's lighter. That's for sure. So the spiritual journey, what it talks about right here in the spiritual journey, we must begin with the premise that no one ever achieves perfection. I know nobody's perfect. Only one person was perfect on this earth, and that was Jesus Christ. But Yes, the perfection apparently is not with this life. It's not what it's all about. It's how to manage this life the way it comes at us, you know? So I think I'm doing a better job at it these days than I used to. And I want to get better. I'm still growing myself. So I hope y'all have a happy Fun Day Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, and stay warm out there because it's cold. And I love y'all very much. God bless. Peace.